That smoke does afford degster the luxury of staying around a little bit longer as well, so they are looking for that information, but Maden has been unleashed, and he just piles straight into the site. zehN with another one before degster silences him. Has been tagged at range from spawn, but the bomb site has been taken, and the bomb has been planted down. So in this 3v4, HP bar's not looking too healthy for Spirit. And Farlig now has put down the one healthy element of it in the form of Mia, but magixx and degster instantly go right back in to bring us down to a 2-on-2. STYKO on 2 HP. Both players are stuck in tunnels. And the fact that they've now cleared the site out will give them a good idea as to this being the case. They're just being absolutely careful, though. Having a look down middle, but magixx on the double peek gets both headshots. And with barely any HP, Spirit get it done. To get smoked off and flashed. So good utility tossed in by Spirit. Slight gap in the smoke on middle, and degster, he won't miss his chance. Maden goes down without much.
He has an SMG. Even a kill here for him, I would say, is a pretty big success. And Mir has actually gone down elsewhere. Good opportunity. It's a little bit of a whiff, but he gets away with it. Switching up to the dig, but STYKO is there for the trade. Keeping things even for now. Could see that magixx definitely wanted to try and peek back in there, but the risk definitely not worth taking. And zehN seems to have a pretty good idea where his opponent's coming from. A solid read, and he alone.
STYKO. And that is the key part of the round that allows the bomb plant to come in. And honestly, with that smoke, I'm not even sure that Spirit go for this now. As good as degster and magixx are, as confident as they'll be, if this first pick doesn't go their way quickly, they may have to turn around. And it has. magixx puts the bullet in zehN's head, and now they can both move in together. Not too much time when the bomb is ticked away, so there's plenty with their 2 kits to get back onto the site with and make some magic happen. Flash will be finding its way onto longside, lands in the eyes of Farlig, who gets traded out, and now STYKO has to hold on alone. They've done it. The 2v3 clutch from Spirit somehow works out.
It just seems the synergy between these players for people who've been to degster. I don't think he spotted the cross. He's going to have to flick back pretty quickly. It looks like Mir's going to take the battle instead. These sort of rounds, unless he's going to be given multiple opportunities, he might be caught jumping and in fact gets absolutely nothing on the take. A 3v5, an afterplant, very likely indeed. And I question what Team Spirit will even do in this sort of situation.
Well, I almost wrote them off in the last round. They got a clutch. But I think this is an entirely different ball game. A 3v5, make that 2v5 as the Finn. So if degster is starting off like this, 5-0, 126 ADR, there's so many gears and so many elements that Spirit can...
Flying all of those stars. chrisJ, his aggression, is something that EG especially really struggled with, but Mir... it's almost like trying to play him at his own game. That's the Mir play. That's my push. You can't steal that one away. And the rest of the team's still trying to pincer. You have to be a bit wary as well of the position of the bomb. Because if there's a push through that smoke on CT, which I wouldn't be surprised if there is, it could have got caught. They do fall back, however, and now Maden has actually done well to get into this site. There needs to be a kill from Sumdayoung, and somehow they've got this back into a 3v3.
Oh, that smoke just cleared in time. I think it may have hurt Chopper more than it actually helped him. He wanted to go out wide swing and get up close and try and put a bit of a screw in the back of FPX, but post plant now comes in. Slight advantage on HP, but there is a lot of utility. 2 incendiaries, a smoke, a couple of flashes, but they're all moving in the same location. It's all through tunnels, and zehN spots the first pick, but he actually misses his shot. Won't be missing on the second time of asking, and there it is again. Now, he doesn't expect back boxes in a 3v3. Like, you have to assume one of the 3 players is back there watching it.
Yeah, I think...
He didn't. magixx up close with the MP9 will be pressured. There's 1 and 2. The MP9 rips through 2 AKs. And to make matters worse for FPX, degster is...
Okay, you should have traded that kill, but he still has to hit the shots. Farlig turning his head. He's given it away to Chopper. And they come back in a round where, well, it was definitely... How does zehN actually not kill Chopper there?
Taking that B in a 3v5, then you instantly get pummeled. And a clean sweep from Spirit. And there's degster for another flick. There's no doubt he's shown up to play today. chrisJ with his first frag, but it opens up short. An impactful frag, looking to try and take off the head of the aggressive Chopper, but it's Chopper, the IGL, that has his hand raised high. And you'll hope that's the case later on today, once all the talking and bullets have been spent. Farlig, only 1 kill with 15 ADR, and he's had an AWP multiple times. Oh, the timing could not have been worse, and it goes from bad to worse as magixx now takes down zehN, leaving it all on STYKO, and he doesn't even have the bomb. This has been a brutal couple rounds now for FunPlus Phoenix, and as good as STYKO is, and the fact that he's got the first pick is all well and good, but he's down to 34 HP. Surely, this is a pretty comfortable round, but if Mir pushes into him, maybe not. Maybe this 1v3 is possible.
That's such a silly play. These are some that we've seen from Spirit throughout, where rounds just slip away from them for overly aggressive pushes. You have the bomb, you know where your opponent is, and no, STYKO's gonna clutch it out. Perfect of FPX play 0 times, and the last with Emmy play once, which they lost 16-4. Nice shot from chrisJ. He's only had a couple of kills, but they've won that granted a lot of map control. Mir's going to try and play in the smoke. Now, there's multiple players here. He's trying to wait to see if he can get a second. There is another opposition, and STYKO quick to make sure that that doesn't get away from them. magixx has pushed all the way through long, but he has to retreat. And now, well, this leaves them in an awkward spot because they know 100% there's only one player on B.
They mollied him out. Not really much that zeyN could have done in that position. magixx is quickly wrapping around the back of them, but it's only with an MP9. And then degster with the AWP. Now, these similar two players, 1 or 2v3 early on over on A, but magixx has been dealt with accordingly by Farlig. He did land a dink around the corner, but only with the MP9. So it will be a kill going the way of FPX. Then another round. degster will make it costly by having a quick look over that moment, Tom, and say that was pretty much it. That was where everything started to shift back in towards FPX's favor.
Yeah, and it's always been their short aggression with Chopper currently hiding in the smoke, waiting for them to push in. He's going to turn around and actually gets to...
AWP frag and can fall back, and then Chopper can get into action. If the flash does come through, Chopper's there to deal with it, but he still had to land that double spray, and he did so very well. zehN, though, wrapping around the back with a ton of damage down onto zeyN, getting peeped by 3 players all at once as they explode out of middle. And that's the aggressive side of Team Spirit that you were talking about before, Tom. Sometimes it hurts them, but sometimes it definitely digs them out. But they have given up B site.
Yeah, this round is not over, especially with how low some of the remaining players are. Only a single kit and not a whole lot of utility. 1 player glass cannon as well. It really isn't impossible. Farlig, great position, turns things back, but a nice shot from degster leaves it onto this man again. He's had a 1v3 already, looking for his second as he homes in on the door, but there's 2 players coming in from the tunnels he has to be a little bit wary of. The kit is still in play. Maybe that's why zeyN isn't peeking, but STYKO once again! A double leaving it onto degster. He'd have to run, and again, he's got no armor. STYKO could just play that time, and he's won himself the second round 1v3. STYKO in first tournament together. Switching out in-game leaders left, right, and center. Maybe learning things along the way. Can they deal with the pistols? That's the question. We know that Team Spirit always seem to have these pure BS rounds that just come out of nowhere. And Chopper has actually got Kevlar with an AK he's just retrieved. So they're going to have to be a bit careful. He's rotated into position. That's the second kill. Chopper now steps up big. He's got support behind the door as well. Oh dear, FPX, everything was going so good. Now zehN has to 1v4.
2 low players, but no control over the bombs. They can just stack middle. Each and every angle has a CT there waiting. And a flash or something preceding that push.
Can't give that chance. degster as well. Spread to his position, and Chopper should have a decent idea, but Maden somewhat faked the footsteps out. chrisJ goes pushing through the smoke. It's been only a few frags for him, but every single one seems to be an opener into some sort of position. degster's going to place himself in CT, so no chance for a rotation, but again, they look to go towards this B site.
Maden obliterated down to 17 HP. magixx not for the first time, wrapping around the back of them. And degster finishes off Maden with the dig. 40 seconds. They're still yet to get onto the site. And zeyN, who has already picked up 1 with the AWP, has it trained down to tunnels. Mia's watching the doors. This would have to be quite the mistake. The Team Spirit to throw this round away. Grenade is good, and the headshot even better. And Spirit regained the lead.
zehN, this time very patient, but Mir's aggression is something that I guess you should come to expect at this point. STYKO, however, was not ready for it.
Yeah, entirely shut down, and zehN had a chance to punish Mia. Walks into lower tunnels, takes down one, then zehN across him. And it looks like this 3v4 will be favoring Spirit, especially with magixx posted on the side. Good utilities tossed in, and magixx locks it down with 2, nearly with 3, but he weakens up Farlig enough that it's just the 1 bullet required. Middle to B, and the rest are now rotating through onto A site, and they're barely giving any kind of resilience whatsoever. And to make matters worse, magixx is just single-handedly pummeled long by himself, and this is going to be a 3v5 post plant, and FunPlus Phoenix are in awful positions to retake.
Unstoppable when we saw him on nuke. Hopefully that will come back because he's currently struggling. I think that's his 4th kill that just came up. Farlig only on 7. Maden, I think, is on 4 as well. And we normally talk about Farlig and Maden being the 2 players that can dominate, that can take over maps for this team. It hasn't been them. It's been zehN and STYKO have been the sort of glimmers of hope when it comes to this roster. And while the fact that they just had to fall straight into a save on the pistol,
moment in this game, like you're eyeing up a 13-6 and a broken economy. Are you content to keep a Mac 10 knowing that it's a... And they have no utility on Maden and barely any on Farlig?
Oh, magixx again. I don't think he's lost a single duel towards long that hasn't been completely sort of unfavorable against him. Maden as well. The flashbang's perfect. He's been caught out all game. Sorry, but it definitely looks like they do work together when the time is right. STYKO, again, he needs to pull off a ridiculous clutch. Now, with 20 seconds, he has managed to drop the bomb, but Mir is there to pounce from behind. And while zehN, he has managed to retrieve an AWP, something slightly better than what we saw previously on that Mac 10, but for obvious reasons, his next turn of call is to save.
May not even be afforded that luxury because some young's already enough to use it. And he falls back into place. 2 of them are behind the site while the bomb is making moves through catwalk. Big peek from zehN. He'll be looking for a little bit more. Maybe they can still pull this one back, even with a lack of weaponry, but magixx finally shows his hand, and he pummels down zehN and Maden respectively. Mia has to cross the right idea and the crosshair placement to add on top, but a 2v2 falls upon us, but not for long. degster's going to take that equality away, leaving Chris 1 or 2 with a deagle. 24 seconds, bomb still yet to be planted, dropped down in a bit of an awkward position, and a beautiful 1 deag onto Mia. His position now known, but the HP bar of degster will mean that Chris doesn't even need a headshot to win this round now. It could just be a body shot and it'll be all she wrote. 8 seconds, degster's going for the frag and needs to get up close, and there's chrisJ. He only had 4.
Beat the win back in the sales of FPX. They have to build off this though, because even still, Team Spirit come in with a purchase and straight away zehN is gone. You do not want to face off against degster at this stage. He had a blinder of a performance yesterday, a bit of a whiff, and actually decides against going for the repeat, but gets a second chance. Chris is gone. Farlig keeps away
because STYKO is alone on B, not for long. Maden is wrapping around the back of them. That smoke is keeping them alive for the time being, but they still have no idea that Maden is here. Farlig is going to keep them interested, and now Maden can close it down and chop down. No, sir! What? How has he spun around and killed?
21 and 11. Mir is 20 and 11. These are the 3 players we focus on to really be that just incredible force. degster, well, it's definitely brought new life to this Team Spirit squad already. And sure, this is their map choice. Sure, this is a map that their opponents don't really play. But the style in which they've dismantled them throughout this map is impressive. Chris at least makes things interesting for this round, Vince. But it's left down to a classic 1v3 clutch.
Has been their best performing player, though. zehN has been head and shoulders above the rest of his teammates. Yes, we've had STYKO with a couple of clutches, but apart from that, he's been pretty quiet. zehN has been there more often than not, but the Finn will... Last time around, where it kind of turned everyone's heads. But we'll hold on to that thought for a second, because it's going to be nothing but aggression to kick things off. Mia trying to stab through the smoke. He's waiting. He's waiting. You can see Maden. He's daring Maden to come down the vents. Take the shot, Mia. He's still there. They're still downstairs. He's going to finally get the knife, and it chops away the kneecaps, taking down Maden. They concede the bomb plant, but they won't care. because Spirit come off to another successful start. And if Mia had died there, like a dropping headshot, I would have absolutely buckled laughing. But hey, he got the knife kill. It's all good.
Yeah, and I feel like, well, at least from players.
Far this tournament on Nuke have ended 16-12, with them combined getting over 55 frags. They are always performing.
It's going to be some Young. Now, he's normally taking the initial fight on A, which is definitely one of the rougher roles to have, but he also seems to get caught out quite regularly. Mir already tagged, but magixx at the back of the boxes could be a real issue.
1-for-1, Mia has now been put down. magixx still alive, spins in, doesn't quite connect though. zehN survives on 1 HP. And that
Chopper's got to be careful. Going to be able to shut down zehN. Actually, just going to use a little bit of that extra utility he had to deny any real chance of the best way to put it. He's just annoying to play against.
He has that kind of controlled chaos mentality. degster misses a bit of a sitter. You expect him to land those shots, especially as he started off this map well. And now Chopper nearly had them line up. But they both stay alive. Some die young. Last player at the back of the site goes the same way. This is much better. FPX just one by one, simultaneously shutting down Spirit. And it's only Mia that has posted up any kind of aggression back. But I think it's a similar situation where they both just look to save already post-plant. So it looks good for FPX to get their second round. Something else that Chris talked about as well, though, was about how that confidence affected his performance and how it pushed him
straight in towards the A site to try and catch players off guard. And that's the thing, they're actually just players waiting for them to move into these angles, but every shot was connected.
In goal, he very rarely goes down without at least a bit of damage, at least a kill. Line up, gets one, does get traded back, but the intel is in play, and degster is already there waiting for them. We have seen this happen so many times at DreamHack. And it should be falling into position again. Although magixx has been dealt with, the rest just looks so...
And by the looks of it, Spirit are just going to wait to try and play this as an afterplant, realizing now that it is the play that they were expecting. The ramp push from Chopper needs to be well-timed. They do only have one kit. They both push into Maden. He's somewhat caught jumping, and I don't think he expected the second player to be hit. Mir throws away his gun, though. He only had a USP in hand when he came around the corner, and now zehN brings it into the 1v1, but he doesn't quite check the right angle. It is close for comfort, maybe even a slip-up or two. And taking their time to juggle the weapons around, I pray to God he's not going to let this go off. I think he's got enough time anyway, but it's always one of those situations where you go, please don't do a G2.
Never do a G.
With an important play, to say the least. Money still not fantastic for Team Spirit, but they have the chance to build a bit up at least. But zehN has actually managed to find the trade. A bit of a whiff for degster as well. Means he takes a bit of damage. And actually, STYKO's now won a duel versus magixx. The first time we sort of talk about this man not having the impact that his team would have desired, and it gives up the B site completely.
Have Maden as well acting as the lurk, the flank with his deagle. We can maybe get a couple of kills. zehN though in a good position. They line up and he takes both of them. Mia, degster and Chopper all X. It should be down to USPs. magixx teeing off a few times. Giving up ramp. This time they don't have the AWP of degster in position to thwart the push, but he has pushed outside. Ramp if magixx goes out for the peak. 35 seconds, can hear footsteps. They drop down into magixx, and he takes off the head of chrisJ. 30 seconds to play, and Chopper's now making moves behind them. This could be a disaster for FPX. They have bypassed magixx, but now Chopper shows his hand. It's all down to Farlig. He's got enough time to get the plant down, but he doesn't necessarily have the positioning. degster's going to keep him interested over on the doors, and now he gets peeked from ramp, peek from doors again, no scope, still alive on 17 HP, nearly spins in, but the miracle will... Chances on both map, and they've let them somewhat slip away, but double smokes put down. The fact that that was underarmed though, degster knows exactly what's coming up. That trajectory of the smoke, like he just knows he's about to peek, takes the shot. Still excellent. Mia doesn't often miss those chances, and the fact that Maden has then gone in on some young afterwards takes this down to a 2-on-4.
Yeah, that's Mia's, like, when again, you have to now focus on the money and the fact that likelihood is Team Spirit are going to have to go for a risky force once again.
Necessarily been super successful outside by and large. I feel like their ramp pushes and the A pushes have yielded a lot more, but zehN goes in on Mia. Again, Mia is one of the first players to fall. That is surprising. And I take you back to the statistics. In both previous maps that they've played, he's landed around 30 frags. He's not quite having the same game here.
He doesn't really have a backup plan. It's not going amazing for Farlig, though. Luckily, STYKO is there to save the day, and now zywoo, he's retrieved the AWP. He's got Chopper alongside him. I don't see a way that they manage to win this round.
zywoo is going to have to be flawless if they win this. Now, FPX don't have to fully push onto A. With only 2 players left and knowing that one of the 2 is on A site, they had 45 seconds at that point. They could easily wrap down to B, but Chopper is here. It won't be a fully automatic M4. It's just the deagle, but first-class delivery from Maden drops in the AK, and now down comes zywoo. It's a 2v4, and suddenly it's all on Farlig. And he doesn't have control of the bomb, he doesn't have time, and only 12 HP. Team Spirit have pulled the rabbit out the hat, more than likely, or have I spoke too soon? No scope, point blank range, but they know exactly where Farlig is. And surely he doesn't assume that zywoo is behind the blue boxes. He's looking to save his AWP. The round is over. He said you couldn't see how Spirit were going to do it. Neither could I.
They've definitely changed things up a little bit. The door has been obliterated. zywoo, not normally on the B site, but maybe this is where he'll shine. That XM close range, but the trade is fast from STYKO. And now magixx, well, he's up on a pedestal. I don't know how he gets out of this, but luckily he's managed to fall back, and support actually starting to arrive. They've taken a while to kill him off. Chopper is here, but again, it's only going to be trades.
Start that round, I thought zywoo was going to have way more impact, but that's the bomb. Maden stuck around ramp with the bomb. Someone has to go get that, and there's only 15 seconds. Both the CTs are here, and degster has a clear line of sight onto the bomb. Flash comes through, won't affect him, and Mia with the FAMAS goes in to play. 8 seconds, only 1 bullet required to kill STYKO. He actually takes it partially through the wall, and degster's there to make sure that FPS... Yeah, 2v4 indeed. Like, just a lot of these kind of awkward positions that they've let slip away. 1 for 1 early on, though, including a smoke headshot from Chopper onto STYKO, who did get the frag onto Mia just beforehand. So Mia again gets put down early on in the round. There's another B-sided hit with a post plant in effect. Farlig's waiting on the flank. Chopper has been sprayed in, but zywoo at least makes sure that's countered. Farlig off angle. Would not have been expecting that. And although they do have the funds to go in for another buy, they also have an AWP still in play. Maden will have to deal with the threat of magixx, which he briskly sprays into oblivion. And now degster is all that remains. First kill goes his way. Bomb is ticking exceptionally low, and I think that's the reason why he is going to be pulling the plug. Not interested without a kit, so he will save. FPX, just very aggressive. B hit does yield another round.
But the fact he's got over 100 ADR.
Yeah, he's been really solid. chrisJ, his 4th kill onto Chopper through main. With a bit of wall bang for good measure, and zywoo again spitting shells at his adversaries. There's another one onto Farlig. The bomb's gone down. Awkward position. zywoo with a triple. This is why the XM is an absolute abomination on loot. It's just so strong. Favorites. This could be the clean sweep grand finals. There are still plenty of CS between then and now. But Mia, who's been on the receiving end of so many opening picks, is the first one to strike, but chrisJ at the back of the site gets 2 before he's silenced. zehN having a bit of an awkward exchange, does finally get his man, but great read of the situation. He's going to be getting right behind him, should go for the kill, and will get the knife. Money in the bank to the AWP fund, but now his position is known, and degster is last man standing. Just 2, degster bullied Farlig across the map. Can he do it one more time? He has been ruthless, unrelenting, and with a P250, if he can carve a head out from Farlig, it's more of the same.
They can turn the tide. It has to be now. Oh, we see these diagonal smokes. It gives a lot of space to Mir to be a bit cheeky, but Farlig's ready for it.
Double stack hut. So they're trying a different take. It's going to be a lobby crunch. 2 players coming up ramp at the same time. Then the bomb's now been dropped down. But these 2, well, that'll be putting them into a very dangerous position with Farlig, who's already picked up 2. It's good to see him starting to get himself in the frags. And there's the 3rd as well. I don't think he saw the play across. Maybe he did just in the last second, but a flashbang forces him away. Secondary player up to the plate, though, is chrisJ. And now it's all to Chopper. who is going to stumble and fall. I love that.
Push into our crosshairs. As long as we trade, it's fine. Instead, they used their initiative, caught them off guard completely. Now, speaking of catching them off guard, this is a very, very fast take. magixx again, we've seen him time and time with that Tech 9. He's going to get them the opener, and they should have an afterplant. But again, at the perfect moment, the bomb has been dropped.
zehN sprayed through the smoke. The smoke has just cleared. Did Farlig catch the elbow as they darted down vents? I'm pretty sure the fact that they've seen no more confrontation on A will give them a good idea, and now they know it's been confirmed that B has
PX were. Like, you see the amount of damage that's actually taken by Team Spirit in the first, like, I don't know, 5-6 seconds of their push. It was almost pure
threat. I could give them a false sense of security as he drops down, and he'll be swinging in. Not required. degster already got his man, but Maden now holds on to Hut. He knows there's plenty of T scurrying around the perimeter of A site, though. It's a flash into a potential peak, but all it does is delay a little bit longer. Mia has shut him down. STYKO up in heaven is a little bit too late to have any big impact, and his teammate of Maden gets clotheslined from degster, courtesy of Squeaky. Another post plant, another 1v3 for STYKO to
relatively confusing position for any player to be in here, and they're actually just going to fight him. There is no one on the bomb. They've completely given it up because they know how the last few iterations of their roster and just absolutely dominate.
I'm right alongside with you. We both said we thought the Spirit might win this, but I said before we went
really not gone amazingly well since then. STYKO is in prime position, but a fantastic trade from Chopper. Now, the rest of the team all making their way through the lobby. The only person going the other way, but a nice shot.
Yeah, on the door's position as well. Now, they will be Molotoving onto D. zehN runs out, barely scratches some Young. Molotov will be expiring soon, but not before the bomb's planted, and Farlig's missed his chance. 7 HP left. Oh, that flick onto some Young is something spectacular, but it won't be enough to keep him alive. And now magixx can close this map, and indeed he does. Spirit
back of the A site. This may just become a bit of a retake. The flash is going through. They're actually going to push towards jungle. There's 2 players waiting, and Farlig, here he goes. A couple of kills with the USP, but even with that heroic display, STYKO, it's 1v3.
It's like, I did it, guys. I got some kit. Oh, you're all dead. Oh, well, all right, cool. And the kit is down. Mia's been tagged down to 12. But he can just relocate and be a real pain in the backside. Now STYKO can never be entirely sure as to when Mia will push very well. So that definitely didn't work against him. I wonder if he did drop 25-30 yesterday on Inferno, if they do maybe bring him back in. But degster
maps, if we even have them. Now STYKO, he's the lone defender. It is literally a 1 versus 4 and, well, a none versus 4. That's the B site completely under their control. I will admit, especially over the last couple of maps, or the last one in particular, something has been pretty consistent throughout the entirety of the tournament. So if they did somehow come back and win this, well, I wouldn't like to.
Up on degster, slight gap in the smokes. They do well not to repeat that. But Farlig's going to use his smoke down in underpass, flicking into Chopper. Much better. It would be excellent to see Farlig recapture some of that form that we know he has. Always a possibility for him to turn things around, but degster is having none of it. Although they must know this is a possibility, especially as they've already flanked into connector, but Mia takes off the head of zehN. chrisJ holding the line, standing for a little bit too long for comfort on Spirit, but he finally will be dispatched. There's no smoke or flashes for the cross, and Maden has sprayed in for both of them, and he cleans up the round.
Single member of the team that is Spirit. Now, it's not over just yet. Farlig, though, superb.
Hands of magixx over on A, so this suggests it's going to be more of a wraparound connector and try and end that final destination on the A side. They won't even get there, though. They're being completely destroyed in middle. Obviously, he wants to die before the end of time, so he can at least get a little bit more money. So he's fine to go out on his shield as long as he takes some of these CTs with him.
Than actually dying after the time. So it is just going to be the save. Not the most exciting of climaxes for this round, but
now we've already seen a bit of presence shown in underpass. It was Farlig previously, and mounting and swelling. But zehN only 18 ADR in the server in map number 3. And he's been shut down. Chopper with 2, straight through with the AK. And this double AWP It's yielded one frag, but it's going to have to go above and beyond if they want any chance at clutching this. At some stage, they may think about pulling back, and I think it's reached that point now. As soon as that smoke was in their eyes, they knew there was no freebies. You have to save, and I think you saw from Farlig's expression.
More going to be situational than anything else. He is the B-site anchor. We saw that previously he was left there completely alone. And
Anti-flash, I would have to assume, is joined by a teammate down there as well. And they're going to get aggressive. And Chopper again takes off the head, but he saw the second player. He'll call that for some Young, but Maden continues to hold this W key and gets two for himself. That's the kind of aggression that we're expecting to see. Farlig, great hold onto Mia. And suddenly a 2v4, but magixx has made moves on A, and he's opening up the A site. The bomb is traversing through T spawn. And if magixx can get another one into STYKO, who's moving around from CT side, it's a 2v2. Surely FPX aren't about to concede another 2v4.
Oh, you'd think, but it looks like it's going to be the exact same situation. Now Farlig left all on his lonesome, and magixx just comes out of nowhere. We mention it time and time again, the sheer depth.
Start to this map, and with 9 rounds through, no kills yet. There's his first. 18 ADR is going to spike up, but can't add any extra. That puts more pressure now on Maden, who's holding the site by himself with the FAMAS. Goes down. A quick rotation through on kitchen side. We'll see Farlig with his AWP perched up and posted for one, but the bomb is being planted down. He'll be forced back out into the open. 3 separate avenues of re-aggression, though, from FPX. They have Catwalk, Apps, and Kitchen simultaneously crunching in, looking to be lopsided onto the site, but Chopper finds chrisJ to kick things off. Farlig, great flick, up to 10 kills already, and zehN will see the barrel of some Young's AWP that betrays him. Falls to Chopper, first frag goes his way, already 2 in the round, already so much impact on Mirage, and he could just tie it up, and indeed he does, leading.
Maybe they were talking about team spirit, because that just seems to be the case. Like, you can have all the strategy in the world, you can have all the aggressive counters, everything you want, and then they'll just clutch it. This round, though, a double AWP has been brought back in. Slightly different personnel, as zehN has one.
Rotation is not possible, and even if it was, chrisJ is watching it. No idea how magixx doesn't die. It looked dead on him. He gets tagged instead, but Farlig now is starting to land the shots alongside Maden. And so FPX and
well, the question I'm starting to have now is, when does a rough start end? Because this is map 3.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. You know, you always give players the benefit of the doubt and teams the benefit of the doubt, but it seems that maybe finally those cobwebs have been brushed aside. FPX is starting to get a lot more success. They're starting to convert these opportunities, and they're doing it cleanly. They're doing it so cleanly. They only lose STYKO.
Response. I'm liking this from FPX. Much more proactive, putting people into position, challenging for mid control, but the flashbang does not catch
approach. If he dies, though, without a fight, this is going to be so bad for FPX, but he just whips the deagle out. Getting 1 kill there is really surprising. And now Chopper shows his hand with a P90 and sprays and perforates, spits bullets at STYKO. You can hear the gunfire rattling to his left. They know where one of the final 2 players are, and now they're making moves via connector towards A site. Now they know where the last player is. They know he's in B tunnels. They know that chrisJ is just around the corner. Will Chopper get the P90 frag? Not quite.
Thank God.
But at least he takes 2/3 of the HP of chrisJ off the board.
There are plenty of guns I'm happy to see come back into fashion. I never want to see that gun used deep into the strat book. They're looking for straight up picks, and you know what? That tertiary AWP is going to be in the hands of chrisJ. So I'm never going to expect him to be this close. That's a solid Molotov, but does it actually spread? If not, no, Mir might just be able to survive. And
angles, shadows clear, looking towards the sandwich. He may find zehN in a moment. He spots the barrel. He takes his head off. Mir was everything in this round. And again, that aggression, but controlled aggression, is going to yield so much for team spirit.
Yeah, Maden needs to pull off something ridiculous, and actually he has managed to find a kill over the edge of the smoke. It may have looked like a done deal, but this has come back. Chris with a chance. He actually hits the shot through the corner of the wall, and now Maden has found another. He can get himself onto the bomb site, look to try and maybe bait his opponent in. There is a smoke down. He's going to wait on the edge with the flash. It's perfect, and the timing of the...
Saw some smarts. It was really beautiful to watch that round. A 4K on top of it, and now he goes back in again for more. Spray through middle, multiple players pushing up, pop flash back over. The second kill goes his way. He spots another in connector, and magixx clean.
His demise. The rest of the team yet to make a move, but if zeyN gets this kill, this round is over.
Now Maden has the M4 at range. And magixx pops him down. That'll be it for another.
Vince, it's now or never.
Yeah, absolutely. Grand finals beckoning. They have got to step it up significantly, and Farlig's trying his best. Maden also at range with the Glock will get the advantage in terms of a 2-for-1 trade. That's good news at least, and they're already barreling towards the B site. No one for the CTs is over here, so bare minimum, it will be a post plant, and it's looking good for maybe the outright win. They still have a kit and a smoke on zeyN, and Chopper is moving through on short. When they go for this plant, they will effectively be into a 2v2, but that post plant now has come into effect. zeyN notices on the B side. Chopper has cut off the head of zehN, and there's only a few moments have passed on that bomb plant, so they can now push together as two.
It might be a bit of a surprise that no one's coming through the market. That was the focal point for STYKO. He's ready and waiting with the P250. Gets the job done on the first. Now it's left onto zeyN, and he won't be able to close it out this time. And they're going to look to pick up the pace. And actually, there is no one on B. It is completely open for now. However, Mir gets the opener. Now they can switch their positioning. They've got incendiaries thrown. magixx already in play. And they have just looked to shut this down. magixx with an impactful double. The incendiary does so much damage as well. Mir after death, even helping out his teammate. And Farlig's AWP, that is a tasty flick, but look at the damage he's taken in response.
Yeah, he got dinked in the process. 11 HP will be finished off as he gets sideswiped, but it's degster that actually
full map as well. And that's only because we're comparing it to what we've seen so far. He was the one man, as said, he was Mr. Consistent. He has been pretty much throughout this tournament, currently on 5 kills, and that is not the start they were looking for when they have an investment round.
Does mean that zehN can now have his hands on the AK as opposed to P250, but degster still watches connector, still makes sure that angle is covered. chrisJ runs out alone with the bomb. I understand the desperation at this stage of the game. Farlig is putting AWP rounds down range to get picks, but it's too late. The FPX can start a comeback right now. If they lose this round, they'll have barely anything to come back with, and they've already lost the life of zehN.
Definitely not the start they were looking for, and degster wants this done here and now. A push through the smoke. chrisJ is dissipated. He has to watch from the sidelines. Now they will get an after plant position, a chance, but Mir, he's got his teammates back. And while it's left all onto STYKO, he's had 1v3s, 1v4s. He doesn't even get to kick things off as well. magixx is waiting patiently. More utility damage coming through for the side of Spirit, and this is looking like the beginning of the end. One by one they fall, and it's left to that man once again to try and cling on. STYKO in a clutch situation, but it is